So it is quite a journey being a Filipino pastoring Russians and Latvians. Now you see, Latvia is a very small nation, 2.3 million people, if everybody's there. um, but we have 40% of the population is non-Latvian, meaning they're Russian-speaking. So the first thing I did when I became a pastor was I said, let's take down the barriers, because we used to have a separate congregation of Russians and Latvians. We took those barriers down, and in effect, we just really wanted to have everybody united together. So we've had to do everything in 3 languages. So if you come into a Sunday service, our praise and worship is in Latvian, Russian, and English, because we do have foreign students and missionaries coming to the church. And our church is about 70% under 25, so if you're like me, you're 26, 27, you're a young person in the church. Excuse me, I'm still working on my lying. And so, you come in and praise and worship is in 3 languages. When I preach, sometimes I preach in Russian, but I really can't go very deep when I preach in Russian. So I preach in English. I have one person translating into Latvian, because that's our national language, and we have Russian on the headsets, and vice versa. We've been able to raise up 2 pastors. One is Russian. His name is Pavel. He came when he was 20 years old. He came when he was 18. Now he's 34, married. And in April, we will be sending him off to his dream, which is Moscow, Russia, to be a tent maker there. And by God's grace, that will become a church, and then we've been able to raise up a second pastor who's Latvian. His name is Edgars. He first came when he was 20 years old. Him and his wife, and they got married when they were 20. He's 29 years old now. He's a very old man. He's 29. He used to be, he played point guard for the national youth team of Latvia. So he played against guys like Gasol, Parker. Those are his contemporaries. But his passion really is to coach and to pastor. So he's part of the coaching staff of the national team, and he's bivocational. I really encourage him to keep that sphere of influence open. And so, just around October, things started just kind of change for us. The church is thankfully doing well after a season of growth and upheaval and growth and upheaval. Thank God I still have no gray hairs. I still have hair. And thank God. But by God's grace, it's growing. So we felt like it's time to hand over the church. Because that's always been our dream as missionaries, is to raise up the locals, amen, and hand it over to them. And they will run with it. And they can win their people much faster than I can, because I have to struggle with the language. So he's ready. So we're turning over the church to them. And they, by the end of June. And so people ask us, so what's next? And we've sought the Lord about it. And we feel like God still wants to keep us as missionaries. So we will have, by July, we'll go to Manila for a year. We just need a lot more training and a time of rest. And the exciting thing is it looks like we're going to be part of a church planting team. It's going to plant a 5th congregation just outside of the Greater London area. So 2 of my prayers will probably be answered, which is, Lord, if you move me, can I go to where I don't have to learn another language? Because my brain is just about fried. I need an upgrade. And hindi pa painful mo yung process of XT pa. And Lord, can you go somewhere where it's a little bit warmer weather? In Latvia, we buy refrigerators so we can keep our food warm. That's how we live. And then I will formally file a complaint to God that it's not fair that San Francisco winter is like this. This is our summer. So we're moved. If we do move, we end up moving as part of the church planting team in the UK. Then at least I'll just have to worry about the accent. Yes. Not going to the toilet, but to the loo. Things like that. At least Jesus is still Jesus there, amen. But what really stirred us, me and my wife, is that the Muslim population is really advancing in England. Once upon a time, the greatest missionary sending force in the planet. And you know, the statistics do not lie. The average European has 1.3 children. I don't understand 0.3. I think talagang isang matangkad sa isang banso. And then the Muslims are having 6.2, I think, or 6.4 kids. Well, I guess if you have many wives, you end up having many kids. Simple statistics again. And this place is called Brentwood. The church will be started and led by the pastor is a dentist. And he has such a heart for the city. He brought a cafe next door. And it's going to start out as a Catholic church, 5 families all together. So we said, well, coffee, Jesus, and all the essentials of life. And not just that, there's a couple that runs a very big basketball academy. And they invited me to that academy. And I said, and there's just hundreds of kids there. And they said, if you can come, 60 to 80 of them hang out every Friday night for days. So let me just end with this by saying, you don't have to turn in. The book of Jonah, which probably is the book that convinced me about missions, said, the last verse, chapter 4, the last verse of chapter 4, last verse 11 says, God was saying, Nineveh is a great city and it has 120,000 people and cattle as well, who do not know the left hand from their right. Why should I not be concerned about that city? I am visiting your city. I'm looking forward to being a tourist in your city. It's a very great city. But you have many more people who do not know their left hand from their right hand. And that's why you're called to be missionaries in your city. And that's why we're all called to be missionaries. Amen. So let me just encourage you, despite not humble beginnings, you're going to be a great missionary for us in this city. Amen? Amen. And you'll be sent out to many other cities.
That's good.
Amen.
That's good. Thank you, Pastor Noah, so much. After service, get to know him, and he really has a great heart. He started out as one of our kids' church pastors, and I think Sharon was Rommel, one of your teachers?
Yes.
I have to strike a balance, brothers. But anyway, in Latvia, he's called Pastor Roma. So that's his Latvian and Russian name. So get to know him. He's a great man of God, and you'll get to know also the heart that he has for the lost. Jesus who takes. All right, I'm excited to have Pastor Joey Bonifacio here preach to us. It's been great so far. We had Pastor Jere Mora here, and then Pastor David, and it keeps getting better and better. Okay, so Pastor Joey Marie there, when Blanche and I, when we started out in the church, they're really two of the leaders that we just looked up to and emulated, and it's awesome how they, it's not just their ability to preach, but it's really about how they lead and how they lead their family. And we've seen their 3 boys grow up. They were in kids' church. I was just running after them, just pinching their cheeks and all. And right now, his eldest son is now one of our pastors, dynamic preacher, and it's gonna be. You're gonna hear him soon here in this church. Okay, so it's gonna be here, and Pastor Joey Marie is like they're really our spiritual mentors, and Blanche and I when we got married, they're also our 2 of our principal sponsors, because we look up to their lives, we look up to their example, and that's why we pursue Jesus with all our hearts, because we've seen great men and women like Pastor Joey Marie plod the way through and lead us, and we've seen that example, and that's why we know this is going to be something that will last, for many generations. And so, Pastor Joey is senior pastor of our Victory Fort Bonifacio congregation. I'll let him tell you about that. I'll introduce, this is Marie Bonifacio. Marie, will you stand up? This is Pastor Joey's wife. Before we moved here, we were at the Fort Bonifacio Church, part of our transition, and Blanche is part of Marie's leadership group, and this is something that she really misses. And so right now, Blanche is really so thankful Marie's here. That but anyway, we're